Welcome, everybody, to another episode of What I Read, where we go over the things that we read wherever we read them. Typically, Reddit. That's why it's REDD. Hope you guys caught on to that. But today we're going to be going through a few things. It is I, Hugz, and I am with Shawn EP, and we have Chris. And we're going to not only be going over am I overreacting, am I the asshole, but we're also going to get into relationship advice, which is what we're going to
Nobody
start
better to
this
give
episode
relationship
off with
advice than
today.
three single guys.
I'm
And
out. I'm out.
I was going to say, but the thing that's exciting about this, my 29-year-old fiance,
I thought you were saying
31-year-old
your
male, so
29-year-old
she's a
fiance.
29-year-old female. He's 31-year-old.
Yeah, I was being like, congrats, bud.
Jokes about not inviting my best friend, 28-year-old female, to our wedding because he thinks she overshadows me. I'm engaged to my fiance, Benedict, and we've been together for 4 years. We're planning our wedding for this summer, and most of the planning has been smooth except for one ongoing issue. Benedict has a weird problem with my best friend, Z. For context, Z and I have been best friends since college. She's funny, gorgeous, and has a big personality. People gravitate towards her and she's amazing, but I've never felt like she overshadows me because she's always been my biggest cheerleader. Benedict, however, has been making these little comments for months now, like, I hope Z doesn't steal the spotlight on our big day, or do you think Z's outfit will be more bride energy than yours, non verbatim? At first, I thought he was joking. Z's stunning, but she's not a show off, and she never do anything to make my wedding about her. Yesterday, though, Benedict suggested we'll trim the guest list, specifically mentioning Z. I asked if he was serious, and he admitted he doesn't want her at the wedding because he thinks she will make me look less important. I was stunned. I told him that Z is like family to me, and there's no way she is not coming. He got upset, saying that I'm prioritizing Z's feelings over his. Now I feel lost and confused. I love Benedict, but his comments feel so petty and insecure, especially since this is about my best friend. Am I actually missing something? So this is from relationship advice, but it feels like a is he the asshole type thing. Or an am I overreacting? It
I'm
feels
just
like it fits
I
all
feel
of
like
them.
there's something more to his side. Like, I don't know, just to, like, if she's not worried about it, why is he worried about it?
And like also like that just I don't know, just kind of low key savage because he's like,
I think he
well,
has, I
she's
think he has a
because like
crush.
that means he's
I think
thinking she's
I'm
more
thinking
beautiful than
somewhere,
him. That he's
like, he got with her, fell in love, and then he met her friend, and he's just like, oh, damn. Like, I want that model.
Also,
so
Yeah,
his
sounds
name
like
is
he's Benedict.
Benedict.
Benedict, and he's using terms like he doesn't go by Ben, and he's using terms like bride energy. Might be a couple flags there, if you ask me. I don't know if Benedict is the right guy anyway.
I don't know. But all I'm saying is it's very awkward. Like in general, like there's definitely something else going on. I will share this though. So I used to be married, y'all. I know Crispy at some point has met Sam, who's my ex. But when I initially met her, I was hitting on her best friend, who I then became the best man in her wedding to her now husband. But when we first met, I was
here's
hitting
the
on her
question.
best friend.
Real
Here's the
Benedict
So
question.
it's
Arnold
like
over here.
When
real
you got
Benedict
married,
energy.
right? Would you have said not to invite that person?
She said she would go anywhere in the world that we were going to get married, and we got married in Chicago.
But you
where I'm from,
invited
and
her.
She didn't come. So
Exactly. So that's, like, honestly,
She
like,
would've been
if we're on
for sure.
the like, we could do the am I the asshole, we could do the am I the overreact, but this is about relationship advice, okay? And honestly, like, friends are important. Heavy red flags for sure.
Red
But at the
flag
same
for
time, also,
sure.
this is, your friend you've known forever. Stand your ground, defend your friend, hear him out, let him know that, like, your feelings, are valid. But however, this is my best friend from college. We da 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 da. I don't care. Whatever, whatever. Like, he has feelings for on her behalf that she doesn't have or would she care about. So if he is so petty to, like, start a fight over this, then maybe it's not the one.
And the bride is always right anyway, Benedict. So I'm sorry.
Stop
But
being such a Benedict.
it's her best friend who is like family to her.
Exactly.
So of course she's coming to the wedding. That's insane. But he's definitely got some sort of like deep down, if he hadn't maybe even did
I think
something
they
that he
probably
thinks
had, like, a
might come out
drunken
of the
night together.
wedding.
What's got me messed up is I'm thinking like, okay, so let's say Chris and I, if I'm getting married and my significant other were to say you couldn't be there because you would overshadow me or like you would whatever, all this stuff, right? It would
Yeah.
make me feel a type of way about myself then, because then I'm like, oh, do you not think that I'm like good
Yeah, that's
looking,
a
or do you
great
not think
point.
that I'm
Yeah.
charismatic? Like, it wouldn't
Yeah.
even then be as much about that
What are
person
these deep
as much
rooted
as it would
feelings
now
that you
become
have?
like,
Yeah.
oh, what do you think of me that I'm
Yeah.
lesser than?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Like,
Like that
am I
was
good
something I was
enough for
thinking at the
you? That's a
beginning and then like
great
lost
point,
track, but
actually.
that's a great
Yeah.
that's 100% valid. Like what what deeper like things is he feeling or thinking about her that he's worried that her best friend is going to steal the show from her own wedding? Yeah.
It would just make me feel much more self-conscious. But this kind of goes directly into our next one, which is why I grouped these two together. This is an Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that her friend is too ugly for my friend?
Yes. Yes. That's not
I
even a
want to hear
question. That's the worst thing you
hear
could
me.
tell
Let's hear the
someone.
man out. Let's hear the man out. I want to
That's
Well,
a
hear how
hold
he
on.
phrased
Let's hear
horrible.
it.
the story. Let's hear the
Let's hear how he
story.
phrased it
No, right
because
off the hop. Oh, okay. Maybe okay. Ugly soul or ugly
Well,
face?
you can believe before we even get into it. So, I, 29 male, have been with my girlfriend, 28 female, for the past 8 months, and it has been amazing. I've met her friends and I really like them all, and she's met my friends and they all get along great. We're all hanging out together for the first time this weekend. The issue is that my girlfriend has told me one of her friends, let's call her Sue,
That's a good
that
ugly
she
name.
thinks she'd be perfect for one of my friends, let's call him Mike. She has told her this numerous times, shown her pictures of him, and gotten her all excited. My problem with this is I don't think they're a good match at all. Mike is a very good looking, in great shape, 6'2", and is a lawyer. He has always dated very conventionally attractive women. Sue is great and I really like her, but she is just not very conventionally attractive. She is overweight and just doesn't put much effort into her appearance in general. My girlfriend has mentioned this potential match for me or to me a few times, and I've always just kind of brushed it off with a we'll see or you never know, hoping it would just fizzle out. But after we made plans to all hang out, and after I found out she's been telling Sue about it, I felt like I just have to say something to her. I didn't want Sue to get her feelings hurt, and I don't want to put Mike in an awkward situation. I told my girlfriend that I think she should not try to set them up together and just leave it alone, and if something happens between them, great, but not to push it. When she asked why, I said I just don't think they're a comparable match looks wise, and that I think Sue would get her feelings hurt. I said I don't think they're a great match personality wise either, since he is super active and she is much more a homebody. This caused a big fight, our first real fight, where she accused me of thinking my friends were better than her friends, asking who else I thought was quote unquote ugly. I was genuinely just trying to avoid an awkward situation, but I think I might have made it worse. Should I have just kept my mouth shut and let it happen? Shawn, let's start with you.
Okay, so he obviously got the bait with the title. He did kind of explain it, but the more I read it, like I see where he's coming from, but I think he just probably maybe should have kept his mouth shut and let it see if it would happen because it probably wouldn't have happened. Sure, she probably would have got her feelings hurt, and then probably could have been like, "Well, I mentioned it a couple times that maybe not, and like we'll see what happens." But I think he focused way too much on it, and I don't think that's something you bring up to your significant other if it's one of her friends who she loves. So I don't know if we're gonna go full easy the asshole, but I think he should have kept his mouth shut and just let it. If it happened, it would have happened. If he doesn't think it would have happened, so it
I'm
probably
on the
wouldn't have
complete
happened
opposite
anyway.
side because
Okay, Chris?
the thing for me is that he did his best in the best way possible to just kind of be like, let it play out itself. Like, maybe yes, maybe no. Like, and then like she was just like, she was like pushing it. And his whole thing is like, he's just trying to look out for her friend's feelings on the same token of like, he didn't directly call her ugly. He just said she's not his type. You know what I mean? And think about it. I think about it like this. If he would have kept his mouth shut And then this girl shoots her shot with his friend, and if his friend is like this shallow dude that like, he's kind of making him out to be, then he's gonna hurt this girl's feelings, and then all of a sudden, the girlfriend's gonna hate the friend too. And it's gonna only get exactly like,
And then he's not
and all this
allowed
guy was trying to
places
do was
and
to avoid that awkward situation. I don't think he's an asshole at all because he was just trying to like I think if anything, this is one of the other ones. She's overreacting because he was being civil about it. I mean, of course, this is only one side of it. You know what I mean? So but it's the only side we got. So going off of the one side, if that was how things went down, he was civil and just by saying like, look, I don't think they're a match because of X, Y, and Z. He didn't say she's butt ugly and he would never go for her. She's a fat whale. He never said that. You know what I mean? Like, these are conclusions that she's jumping to. Red flag. But
I was just gonna say, don't we hate that? Like, I know we've probably all been in situations, maybe with significant others or just friends or anybody in a workplace even, where it's like,
yeah,
you say something and they elevate what you said. Like if they're like,
Oh, yeah.
they don't have the same, like they're not equal in these ways or whatever, and all of a sudden it's
he was trying to
say that.
he was trying to spare her friend's feelings, and
Save
keep
feelings.
her friend from getting hurt, as well as protecting his friend from a very awkward situation with his girlfriend's friend, which then domino effect falls into the girlfriend, and then he's in the middle. And I would not want to be in his position. I probably would have done the exact same thing, maybe a little more early on though. You know what I mean? I would have rather than
It seems like the whole way he was saying,
Yeah,
I don't
but
think so. I don't think this is the way.
I don't know,
but whatever.
me,
Like,
I'm a
let
very
it
direct
go,
person
like-
myself. So if that situation came up in that instance, I would have just been like, oh, I don't think they'd be a good match, because of X, Y, and Z. And if my girlfriend had a problem with it and jumped on that rant, then I'm like, whoa, simmer down, calm down.
Yeah, because that always goes well.
So.
One, yeah,
I'm not
saying
gonna
calm
say.
down,
I'm not literally
Yeah, I
gonna
was gonna say
say
saying calm down.
That'd
Probably
be my
wouldn't have
internal reaction. But
So first off, I hate the
Yeah,
elevation
same.
of him saying one thing and it becoming
We've all been there.
like more extreme. But also, I'm very much on the bandwagon of just like, I would be like, hey, like let's say it's you, okay, Chris, because I keep using you as my example. Let's say somebody's trying to hook them up with you, like I don't think he'd be that into her, and then I would just leave it at that. I would give it a one-off. I would explain my reason and let it go. Like I'm not going to make a huge thing out of it. If it's an argument, my bad. I was just, whatever. I would back off it because I don't care enough, and you're going to deal with it, and then it is what it is at that point, right? And you never know. Sometimes you see some odd pair matchups. I guarantee you, when I looked much more like a butterball turkey than I do now, people were probably pretty shocked at the relationships that I was in. But, people, different strokes for different folks. That's the way.
But I'm going on the
You never know what people
not
are
an
looking for.
asshole.
I think they should have all been just adults and let it play out and see what would have happened. And maybe, I don't know. I think
I
they
think-
should.
Go ahead.
He did kind of give hints towards it. His girlfriend obviously didn't pick up on it. She did overreact. I'll give you that. Because she went with automatically, oh, you think she's ugly and my friends are better than your friends. That part would be frustrating. But I think he just should have kept his mouth shut and should have let it just fizzle out. And if they can't be adults and they get upset with each other because one guy that they hardly know said no to. And who knows if she would even ask.
Okay. Ended it with the...
Yeah.
What do you call it? The water enhancement or lemonade? It's not
I
lemonade.
call them
it's-
squirts. I call them squirts. Yeah, that's right.
All right, you're a squirter. So when we're finishing it off, I will end on this. One, we don't know if what's his name, Mike. We don't know if Mike could be the asshole. It could be Mike that's the asshole. And
What's
all
that
this.
Most
most
And he's-
Mikes are.
impulsive? Big
and
asshole.
he's, that's a big thing. I was just saying big.
Magic Mike.
It's a big thing for some people. But the way that I look at it, he's trying to save the feelings. I think it's an everybody kind of sucks scenario Whereas like he seemed to like really stand 10 toes on the issue. She really pushed it and elevated it.
I'm a firm believer in like don't push those
I feel like it's
situations. If they're in the
everybody type
same
thing.
area together and they're around each other and they connect, let it happen naturally. Nothing good ever really comes from like pushing one towards the other. And then why would you want your friend to date your boyfriend's friend? Because if they date and they break up, then it's fucking awkward for you guys. Who wants to be in that situation?
Crispy, here's the secret. Everything's awkward for me. Okay, side note. So you guys are sports guys. Not sports guy. So you know they have like the citrus bowl, the iron bowl, the cotton bowl. They have all kinds of bowls, whatever they are, right? For sports. Well, I did not know there was a Duke's Mayo Bowl. And apparently it's like a whole thing. But so instead of Gatorade, this is more just a statement of fact because I saw this on the news. I was just curious if you guys knew about this. You know, like the Gatorade, they dump Gatorade. Well, so at Duke's Mayo Bowl, they like dump a giant thing of mayonnaise. Because Duke's is like a mayonnaise company. And I'm like, that is the
I'm losing that
grossest,
every
most
time. If I was a coach in that,
I
and that's
couldn't
what happens
be
when you win, I'm
clean
losing
after
it every
that.
time. I'm like, you guys are fucking tanking this one.
No way. I'm bringing meat and cheese and I'm slopping that up. And
I can't do that, but I will clip that sound and make sure that I use that later on.
Thank you.
Um,
Gobble,
also,
gobble, gobble.
rest in peace when this episode comes out, probably like a couple weeks ago. President Carter passed away. United States President, Shawn, of course, Canadian.
Yes, I do know who he is.
Passed away, I think either at 100 or just shy of 100. But I was reading this article when he was 95 years old, he fell at home and got a wound requiring 14 stitches. Okay. And despite his injuries, he showed up the next day to help build houses for Habitat for Humanity. That is insane.
He was a stud. The guy was a stud. I don't think anyone did not disrespect President Jimmy Carter, except for
Except
the
for
Simpsons.
Trump.
Wait,
And then he
hold
took
on,
it back as soon as he died.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
anyone
one
did
thing.
Not disrespect. So you believe everybody disrespected him? That's what you meant. Yeah.
I don't think anyone disrespected him. Sorry, my. Thank you, Professor Chris. Except the Simpsons did. The Simpsons did. He's history's greatest monster. That's Family Guy didn't.
I'm
touch
just saying.
anything
Okay,
with
this
Jimmy
man
Carter.
has like dedicated pretty much his
might have.
life after presidency to like building homes for like the homeless stuff like that. Like that's the key to youth, man, is staying active. Like exactly like I'm at 90. You said 95. Got 14 stitches and was right back out there and lived another 5 years. Like, bro, like
No.
That generation though, like my grandfather was, I think, in his 70s. He fell off a roof doing shit, like shingling my uncle's roof. Fell off a roof, and like 6 weeks later, he was out mowing his lawn, and then like half a month later, he was out fishing. Like it was wild. Those guys were like tough as nails. Me too. Let's do it together.
All I'm saying is, if I take a hit and I have 14 stitches, I don't know, man. Now I have to. Now I don't have an excuse. Now if something happens, like if something horrible befalls me, I still got to go to work, or I still got to go do whatever I got to do. Because now
here's
this
the question,
95-year-old dude show me up.
We doing charity? Like if you get stitches, you go and do charity the next day?
I'd be down to do that more than anything else, because at work you get PTO. So at least if you call up, you get paid.
In order to get you to do charity work, we had to cut you.
That's what I call trimming the fat.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Self-harm is the gateway to charity, everybody.
Time out. The gateway to get Hugz to do charity.
We gotta put a disclaimer. Joking.
Joking. To my charity.
Joking. So the charity you go with is, never mind, I won't go that far.
Moving on to another subreddit. This is dating advice. Okay, even though I don't know where the real advice is here, and also this, I wish I could bring Nigel or someone in to do this in a British accent, because I'm like pretty positive this person's British. But girlfriend introduced me to guy she slept with. And the reason I make sure to say it's British because there's some words in here that are interesting. I've been with my girlfriend for about 2 months, and about 2 weeks ago, she introduced me to one of her friends, and we all went out for a zoot. And he seemed like an alright guy, so I had no issue with it or anything. Fast forward to yesterday, he comes up in conversation. It's revealed she slept with him several times a couple years ago, and they had some history. She has left every single man she's got with to go back to him. Though this hasn't happened to me, and I'm confident it won't. And I found out that he still liked her and said he'd wait 20 years for her. This happened at the start of our relationship, and I also don't know. This. He's just been in. Hold on. Also, I didn't know this. He's just been in the background on her Snapchat the whole time. Okay. My girlfriend broke down in tears, said I deserve better, and while they've done or said nothing since I've been in the picture, she said she told me everything. The way this is written is interesting. She said she thought she told me everything. She feels awful. She blocked him, and after this argument they had at the same time yesterday over something different. However, she has done this a few times before, and he's come back angry, and she's let him back into her life. Am I a mug for meeting him and not knowing? I have no issue with what's happened in the past before they knew me, but I don't know how I should feel about not knowing all of these things, and it feels disrespectful, but I'm not sure. Update, and I'll give you the update beforehand. Spoke to her and said it's disrespectful and how it feels muggy, and she burst out crying. She got him blocked, and she said it's different with me, and she's never leave me, but time will tell. If she unblocks him or speaks with him at all, I'm going to head out because that crosses the final line. Sorry, that was a little difficult to read through. That's my bad.
That's okay. You zooted it well.
I zooted through it.
I'm also going to go with mug from now on too. Am I a mug?
It's like the root beer.
Chris, well, props to this guy
opinion?
for
What is your advice?
Honestly being like, the whole how many of us can, I mean, how many guys in general, because I know I've been in that situation, how many guys in general can say that like they've met a dude that their girlfriend has like hooked up with, and their first, their reaction is the past, you know what I mean? Not a lot, because I know a lot of, I have a lot of like friends that would be super jealous, like, why do you still talk to them? I personally do not care about that. I'm on that level. But like finding out all of that, like how she's left every guy she's been with for this guy, and she's done it before where she blocks him and he gets mad and she unblocks him. I would have left there. Like, brother, do not wait for her to unblock this guy. Leave. It's not worth it. It's not worth the time, the effort, the pain, because as time goes on, feelings grow, and then when the feelings grow, the pain is worse, and it's just not worth it. Yeah.
Reminder, they've been together 2 months and about 2 weeks.
That's a zoot and a half right there.
That's a zoot and a half. Sean, what is your opinion on this?
Crispy's bang on with this one. I can't disagree. Like, I respect his maturity with, like, people are going to have exes, right? They're going to have people that they slept with before. So you're going to have to get over that right away. You can't be jealous. But the fact that this guy keeps showing up again, and she introduced them, and she keeps going back to him and stuff like that. Like, yeah, the fact that he stuck it in more, but I also like that he was open and honest with her and messaged her and said it's disrespectful. And if she don't react properly to that, then cut it off, because if she truly does love you and not this other guy, which it seems like she loves this other guy, she's gonna give you the respect that you deserve. So
there's numerous things I feel about this. One, is it maturity or is it naivety? Is it like naivete? Because like the way that he's like, where did he say it? Every single man she's got, she's left to go back to him. Though this hasn't happened to me. That is naivety. I would say that's naivety for sure.
The maturity aspect is what I was going to. I think Shawn would agree was his whole like, like whatever she did before me, like I don't care about. But that part, I think he's
I'm
naive
just
to
saying
not leave
overall, is he
and
just not
to
even
trust that
thinking
like
of
this guy's
like,
going to be blocked and stay blocked,
yeah.
even though history has shown that that's not the case. I think he's 100% naive.
Well, because that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's like maturity. I think it's he just
I wonder
doesn't
what
know
this
any
guy
better
looks
to
like
know
to have
like
that
that's
kind of
messed up.
confidence with a girl with that track record. Like,
Or I wonder what she looks like that he like is
this
naive
man
or he
better be
doesn't
sculpted.
like he
This
thinks
man better be
he's.
sculpted like a Greek
These
god to
should
have
come
that
with
kind of confidence
pictures.
in himself. Like, I wouldn't.
But also the fact
Yeah,
that the
that's
dude said
weird.
he would wait
I
20
would have. I would
years
have been
for
like,
her.
"Why wait 20 years? You've waited 2.5 months already."
No. Yeah.
But
How
no,
long is your normal waiting session in between?
the
If she
dude that
leaves
she goes
every man
back
goes
to,
back.
the dude that she goes back to is the one that will wait 20 years, right?
That dude is
Yeah.
obsessed.
Yeah,
That dude
yeah.
is in love.
I
And
don't know.
the fact that he gets mad when she blocks him because she's in a relationship, I feel like that says everything right there. Like about their.
But I think she has unresolved and really strong unresolved feelings for the guy she keeps going back to.
Does
Stockholm
she?
syndrome.
Or here's my other thing. There's sometimes the people who have the hook and they
Yeah,
just have that one person they just don't let go. So she may not truly want to be with that guy or whatever, but
Yeah.
she's like, that's her emotional safety.
he's,
and he jumps on
human.
that
Manipulative.
advantage every time.
So like she just has him hooked in the background in case.
Yeah,
You
But
know?
if
yeah.
But
Okay,
here's the thing, though.
yeah,
If she was
and he
true
knows that
if
and
she
he
was honest
manipulates
and
it.
true to her word, I don't believe that she forgot to tell this guy, this new guy. I think she purposely didn't, and then tried to like play the what was me? Like, I'm sorry, I thought I no, you would remember something that big. I think things would have been different if that would have been the
Yeah,
case. Like,
I'd be
heavily.
butthurt.
Like, you made me
I'd be
shake this
butthurt
man's hand
for
who,
sure.
like, you had, like, again, past is the past, but if the track record shows that every other guy you've left for this guy, and I'm just, no. Like, past is the past. I don't want to meet the past. I'm the
I don't
present.
want to meet him. I don't want you meeting him. I don't want you
That's what I'm
meeting
saying.
him. I don't want you hanging out with
Cool.
him.
Like,
yeah.
what? Like,
That's all I'm
I
saying.
don't know, man. I don't know. I've been in those scenarios where like a girl I've been dating is still friends with an ex, swears nothing is there, and spoiler alert, something was there. But I've also like, huh?
I'm here for you, buddy. I'm here for you. If you need me in the background of your Instagrams, I'm here for you.
I am
Or your
absolutely
Snapchats.
not at all here for
Yeah,
you.
man, dude, I'm
Because
gonna
you're not
outshine
invited.
you.
You're not allowed to come to my wedding. Because you'll outshadow
Because
me.
you're
That's
you're
But
ugly.
at the same time, though,
Yeah,
I
you're too
I was
ugly
with
for my
somebody who
friends
was
or
friends with
something.
their
I don't know.
exes. I put that trust in them, and the moment that these people crossed the line, she not only told me about it, she told me her reaction, fucking bubble, and she blocked them, and that was that. You know what I mean? Like there's levels to a relationship, like, and she was not holding the ground. Like, nope.
Definitely a weird scenario.
No,
would
he's
be a
naive.
better man than I, but again, I don't
Naive,
think he's a
yes.
better man than any of us. I
So
think
he's not
just
a
naive.
he's
I think
he's
that's really
not
what it is.
an
He's super
asshole
dumb.
overreacting. He's just naive and dumb. Run, brother! If you ever see this, run.
Yes, in my opinion. But it's been 2 months and this will not happen.
If you're
Andy.
listening to this,
Get
zoom
your
out
mug
of
somewhere
there.
else.
Yeah, that's right.
Get your mug somewhere. Take your mug and go.
So I have another story I want to get to that is, in a way, a dating story, a tale of two people meeting that I think is very weird and awkward.
This is the most depressing episode we've done already.
Am I overreacting? Okay. Am I overreacting, or is this a total breach of privacy? Backstory. It's honestly pretty much non-existent. A uniformed officer in his patrol vehicle pulled up next to me to tell me my tire was low, and then I said, "Oh my God, I didn't know. Thank you." He drove away, and a few hours later, I got this. I'm kind of annoyed that he looked up my whole file just to get my number against my will. So They say, "Hey, good morning," with a sun and a smile emoji. Okay. They respond with, "Hey, I'm sorry, I don't recognize this number. Who is this?" This is the officer who pulled up next to you yesterday to tell you that you had a low tire. They say, "Oh, okay. I mean, thanks again for that, but how did you get my number? LOL, dot, dot, dot. This is the number that came up when I searched your license plate, and I figured I would reach out and see if maybe you wanted to get to know each other, possibly go to dinner sometime. I promise I don't do this often, haha. You are just so very nice and attractive, of course. Wow, I appreciate the compliment. Thank you." He says, "You're welcome. My name is Blank, by the way."
Invasion of privacy. Invasion of...
Outrageous. Insanity.
My skin started crawling.
Yeah, that
When I don't.
I mean, you could probably, it's probably easy to look it up when, honestly, but he got the easiest way. Of course, I'm in a business where I get people's phone numbers and a lot of their info as well. Like, that's where my job. It's an 100% absolute, without a doubt, no to ever call. So if I get this girl calling,
Is it an absolute
Johnny
no
B with
because
pistol.
you've done like
I still got the job. I still
he's
got
like
the job.
he's like the policy exists because there
Well, here's
was
the
a
thing.
baddie with
I
a
work for
fatty.
I work for 911, right? So ring, ring, ring. 911. What's the address of the emergency? And I ask her. Oh, my husband died. Okay.
How hot are
What?
you?
What? Yeah, exactly. What are your measurements? It doesn't matter why I need to know this. It's for the ambulance.
Yes,
I already got her
exactly.
address. I already got her phone number.
No.
Boom, we're good to go. Wait a couple weeks. You show up at the door, be like, "Oh, hey, here your husband died." No, that's a joke, obviously, but yeah,
Of
super.
course it's a joke. You go to the funeral.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what you do it.
That's where you
Wear
meet
my
her.
best, dressed up in my best
Tuxedo
uniform
shirt.
from work.
I was gonna say just wear a tuxedo shirt and jeans.
Yeah. But no, it's just we call it VoIP or FOIP. It's obviously a massive no. That's ridiculous. Try and figure out get her address and accidentally stumble up on her while you're going on a dock. There
I
are
like that
creepier
you
ways
have
to
thought
do
about
this.
Well,
Without straight up.
so I don't think there's creepier ways to do this. I think this is the creepiest way because otherwise you could be like, "Oh, I just have roughly where they were or where they live." So be like, "Oh, I just happen to run into you again."
Well,
or
see,
something,
to me that's
whatever.
To me that's creepier because
I
you're
think
looking
that's
at
less
the address
creepy
and
than
you're
texting someone.
That's
you're
stalking.
you're staging the
That's-
meetup. Whereas when you're texting her, you're straight up being like, "I got your info this way." I know this is
But
inappropriate, but
I'm saying we call that metagaming. Like we only know that he would have staged this. She would
And
just
then
think
they're
they ran
married
into
10
each
years
other.
later with kids.
What
and
I'm
I know,
saying
but
is fun
at what
story,
point?
honey.
That
True. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
Like,
creepy.
if that happens, at
You
what
don't.
point do you
You
tell her
don't.
like
If
this
you
is how we
pull
met?
off-
Like,
This
If you pull
this
off
just
the
makes me
creepiest
think of
move
like
in
a
history
horror
and
movie.
end up getting to that stage of, hey, maybe I should tell her how this all really happened. Yeah, no,
How I Met Your Mother.
yeah,
Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
it's like when
Funny
you
story.
it's like when you match on Tinder. At what point do you tell the girl you swipe right while you're having a shit? Like,
I've had. Do you know how many
do you tell her?
All of them.
the amount of matches I've had on dating sites where they were like, I'm like, oh, what I always ask what about me caught your attention, and the amount of times that females are direct and honest and say it was a suicide swipe. They're just on everybody, and I'm like, I appreciate the honesty, and then
I can't.
I do. It could go one of two ways. I could get in my feelings and be like, damn, this person don't really like me, or I could change their fucking opinion on the fact that they don't know who I am. Yeah.
That's you got to change their mind. Swiping on Tinder. Swiping
Well,
on
you
Tinder.
don't even get it. It's not even like changing
You
their
make up
mind
their
really,
mind
because
for
they didn't
them.
have a chance
You
to make
show
up their
them
mind.
how
you know?
amazing
like,
you
it's
are.
Not like they would
Don't
ever.
stalk
Make
them
up
with
your
your creepy
mind.
policeman information that you obtained. That's illegal. I hope this cop lost his job.
So here's the thing that I think is what makes it extra creepy to me is because yes, he got the number. It is whatever. But then he like
I'm
sends like a
saying,
good
like-
morning text. Like that's also creepy. Like it's just the whole thing is very creepy. But it just feels like a horror movie because I feel like she says like this is wrong or I
Yeah.
feel like this is messed up, and then he just starts showing up everywhere she's at, showing up outside the house, just like she's getting tickets every day. Like it
Where
just
would you-
becomes like.
If that was a horror movie, where would you discuss that? Like, is there a podcast or anything?
Yeah, I mean that's something we could probably talk about on the Scaranoia podcast.
Oh,
Scaranoia, what did I call it?
That was a G2
Scaranoia
Kappa thing.
prop hands, or was that a G2 Kappa thing? I don't remember. I threw up my hands. We do things on the internet. That's what we do. But Scaranoia, we go over horror and
on it.
conspiracy theories. Check out our podcast. Comes out every Thursday.
I'm not a part of that, so don't watch it.
He is not a part of that, so you definitely should then watch it. But I think that's what makes it extra creepy to me is the good, like, and I don't know why that makes it the creepiest for me is the good morning text. The
That's
good
like
morning,
that, like-
I don't know, with the emojis.
Ugh.
It's
Yeah,
just
that's a little
extra
weird.
like.
It's like, good morning, beautiful. Who's this?
It's not
So and
like,
so.
hey.
How did you get this number? Oh, I got it out of so and so's phone.
Well, and also it's almost like when you just hit somebody with a good morning and you know they don't know who you are, you're kind of playing that whole like,
Like,
oh, who is it?
look,
game.
I'm not
you know what I mean?
advocating
Of
for
like,
Yeah.
I don't
creepy.
know, like it's,
Fake it though. Do not sit there and say that this is how I got your lie. Say you
Fake
meant to text
Yeah.
so and so. Name a guy. Don't name a girl.
I'm gonna name my kid so and so. By the way, or do that chance meetup. Like, her address, man. Friggin' do it. Like, oh, I mean, I can't do the jogging thing because I
Yeah,
can't even
you have
hardly
the
walk.
nicest
But if
shoe
you,
collection of anybody I
if
know.
you,
Yeah, you can't even.
you do. That's why it's the nicest shoe collection
yeah,
because
they're
none
clean.
of them are
They're
scuffed.
clean.
They're
I
all
appreciate that
unscuffed.
though. They're right here.
Also, I want to point out that Shawn
I
is
see
in
the
fact a liar.
the Dragon Ball Z characters.
I've been holding on to this, Shawn, and I'm using this podcast to call you out. No, no, never.
Did
He
he
wouldn't
send
do
you a
that.
good morning
He's not that
text?
good of a guy. Anyways, you bought all your family dunks, and I asked you, was there any pandas on that list? And you said no. You posted the picture. I saw pandas.
There are no pandas on that list. I could show you my StockX receipts.
I'm gonna pull.
my
I'll pull
friend.
the picture.
I
of all
got
your family with them.
receipts, bruh.
That's what I'll do.
You can. Be creepy like a cop who texts a girl and he pulls
Yeah.
her over.
Just watch tomorrow, Chris. You're gonna get the
Oh,
good
no.
morning text. I'm telling you, with a panda emoji.
With a panda emoji.
Yep, with a panda emoji.
Oh, super
All right,
creepy. Not
but so we're all
overreacting
on
at
the
all.
same page. Super creepy. Not
Horribly
overreacting
illegal.
at all.
Illegal.
Not even a little bit.
Abuse
Illegal.
of power.
Just like it should be additional crimes. Should be many crimes.
That's the
and not
least
just a
of them.
crime of passion.
Oh, nice. I wonder if he looked up her medical records.
I'm wondering how many people he's done that with. Because
You do
as
it all
soon
the
as
time.
somebody's like, I don't do this that often, you do that.
I
all the
don't
time.
do that
normally
every
do
hour.
this, but you
Yeah.
look great.
That was your fourth good morning text today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
me
don't
going
know.
through McDonald's drive-through. I don't
They're
normally
like,
come
Shawn,
through
you
here.
get a number
Yeah.
3 every
Can I get a
day.
double
Normally.
cheeseburger extra side?
Bro, I like to imagine that he sent it to the wrong person because he just looks up everybody's, and because he sends all these texts out, he's like, I don't often do this. She's like, I'm a 73-year-old woman. And he's like, oh,
I'm in it now.
Meemaw. Yeah, my bad, Meemaw.
How much money you got?
Yeah, like, exactly. How the knees holding up? You think you're gonna be around much longer? You got the any checks coming in? Hey man, he's going for the long haul, okay?
Oh, I don't blame him.
But yeah, definitely creepy,
File a
definitely
complaint.
not overreacting, definitely horrible on all levels. Almost as creepy as the good morning text Chris is gonna get tomorrow. But we're gonna end it there on this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
enjoyed doing this. Are you guys having a fun time with this? I love that now you figured out
Every
that your
time.
phone
Sign
does
it
this.
off.
This is just gonna be every time now.
Don't you might
It's like it
end
took
up in
way
a body
too long.
bag.
Okay, let us know what you thought in the comments down below. Send us any stories you want to check out, or maybe some
Or
things
if
that
you
you
have a
found on
story
Reddit
that
that
you
you
want to
think we should
anonymously
read,
submit
that
to
you
us to
read,
read on the
it's
podcast,
what we all read.
we have.
Send it via Good Morning
Was it what I
text.
read at gmail.com? Is that? Send us your
What
anonymous
I
stories.
read
We
at
will not name names.
gmail.com. Can send it there. What I read on TikTok, youtube.com/ at what I read. We on Instagram, X.
What I got from Red, it's all
All of
there.
it. Red's apple cider. All right, but we are going to sign off this episode. We'll see you next week.